This is not a test.
I don't know if you can handle it. I don't know if you can handle it.
This is not a
I don't know
test.
if you can handle it. I don't know if you can handle it. I don't know if you can handle it.
This is not a test.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Florida Sports Programming Network. I'm your host, Uncle Muggs, and thank you so much for joining us. With me today is Alvin Pascale, a left-handed pitcher for Florence Darlington Tech in South Carolina. Alvin, thank you for your time, buddy. I appreciate you.
Thanks, sir.
All right, over the past several weeks, we've been on the road bringing you some of the best amateur baseball coverage in the country. We started in Dunedin, Florida, covering the Prospect Select Invitational, where we had the opportunity to follow the Franklin Scout team and many of the nation's top young prospects. From there, we traveled to the incredible Lake Point Sports Complex in Emerson, Georgia for the MPI tournament, where some of the premier high school and travel baseball players from around the country showcased their talents in front of college recruiters and professional scouts. We also have some games from East Cobb, Georgia, and many of the games that we covered during these events you can already watch on our YouTube channel, Florida Sports Programming Network. So we invite you to check them out, relive the action, and watch some of the future stars of the game. And if you enjoy the content, please support the channel by subscribing, liking our videos, and sharing them with fellow baseball fans. Also, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Florida Sports PN, where we provide updates on upcoming broadcasts, interviews, special events, and everything happening here at FSPN. But before we get started, I'd like to extend a special thank you to Mr. Brandon Williams and the entire Franklin organization and all of the coaches and staff who have been tremendous hosts throughout our travels. Their commitment to developing young athletes and providing opportunities for these players to compete at the highest level has been nothing but outstanding. So we truly appreciate their hospitality and support. Today, we're coming to you from just a few miles away from the USA Training Facility in Cary, North Carolina. And we have a very special guest with us today, and it's the new head coach of the Miami Killian Senior High School, Mr. Carlos Castillo. Carlos, welcome to the show and congratulations on the new gig.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Carlos, take us through your baseball journey and how you ended up here as the new coach of the Miami Killian Cougars.
Well, I signed out of high school in 1994 and played all the way to 2011. Retired in 2011 and opened the baseball academy and been teaching youth sports ever since. You know, through my travels in pro ball, I learned a lot and how to deal with different guys and different attitudes and different ideas. And this was just next logical step. You know, I've taught from 6 years old to I have major league guys that I train. But you know, once they get to high school age, that they have a place to play and a program they understand and continue the development of them.
Coach, what does this opportunity mean to you, and why was this the right time to make the jump into high school coaching?
The opportunity presented itself. One of my guys is at Killian, and he's like, "Yo, the head coach is leaving, so I don't want to transfer. I've been there for 3 years." And then they posted the job, so I told them to speak to the athletic director that I wanted to interview for the job. This guy's been with me for 6 or 7 years, so I wanted to make sure he finished his high school career on a good note. Especially he was been there since his freshman year, and he's going to be a senior. And then I have a couple other young guys that are going to be in high school next year, so it gives them a place to play and the understanding of how I work. So it'll be a little easier transition. Um, Killian is for all intents and purposes rebuilding. So I wanted a challenge. I don't just want to go in somewhere and win and walk into a perfect program. I want to be able to build it and create that culture of being professional style baseball, professional style attitude, and carry yourself like a professional on and off the field. Go back to a little bit of the old school.
Coach, how important is it for you and your players to understand that baseball is more than wins and losses, that it's also about character and how you prepare not only for baseball, but for life?
Well, you learn real quick that you have to work in groups together. You have to respect the guy next to you because he's going to carry you when you're struggling, and you can carry him when he's struggling. It's completely different. It's you play for the name on the front of your jersey, not on the back. And once they can figure that out for the rest of their career, they're going to be in a good place.
So, Coach Alvin Pascale is here with me, and he's got a question that he wants to ask you.
So I'm going into my sophomore year at Florence
Yes.
Tech, and as a high school athlete, what is the best thing that you recommend that can stand out to getting recruited and to move on to play at the next level?
Well, in reality, what ends up happening is it has to be a truthful assessment in the beginning. Even before the whole fact of you getting ready for college and being a prospect and having the intangibles and all the metrics and all that stuff, there has to be truth being told. A lot of these people, they get bad information. They tell them that they're ready, that, oh, you're this type of player, that type of player. There has to be a reality of, if you're throwing 84 miles an hour, 85 miles an hour, you're not going to a D1. These D1 colleges now have guys, 5, 6 guys throwing 100 miles an hour. It's turned a little different, with the whole transferring and the guys going to JUCO first. I think assess the truth. Somebody's got to be able to be honest with you and tell you the truth and what you need to work on. They have their own list. They're looking for X spin rate and X velo, and then your X velo has to be so much. And I have a guy here that, to me, he's a D1 guy, but the guy's like, "Oh, I need you to gain some weight and get a little stronger and physically stronger."
Mhm.
So you got to find the truth and then build off of that.
Thank you very much.
Coach, looking ahead for year one and also your long term vision for Miami Killian baseball, what would be a successful season if we were to have this conversation again next May?
Well, with the guys I have now, we're building. We have 5 guys on the team basically. We're gonna get some transfers in as usual. People transfer left and right. We're gonna get some incoming freshmen. Um, but for me, successful is one game above 500. 500 at worst, and one game above 500 would be a good season, especially with this rebuild and the new guys and the new coaching and the new staff and everybody learning from each other. So there's gonna be a small adjustment period, but small it's gonna be. There's gonna be accountability, pressure, consistency. There's gonna be all kinds.
Coach, talk to us about your upcoming, what your expectations are for strength of schedule, and what can your team be prepared for when you start practice in the fall?
They're gonna. It's gonna be culture shock. There's an accountability that I'm gonna ask for, because you can't cry about results you didn't work for. You have to work, and my pitchers have to get stronger. And if they're not, their weight isn't right or their body isn't right, we're gonna push on the body. There's gonna be accountability. There's gonna be weight check. There's gonna be strength check. There's gonna be everything. It's gonna be all accountable, and it's gonna be professional style. You want to keep your job. You want to be that guy. Then you have to put in the work. If not, eventually you lose your job. And that's baseball. That's everything.
All right, Coach, one last question before we get into what we call the changeup. Who's going to be with you in that dugout? Who are some of the assistant coaches that you're looking forward to help you this season?
Well, right now I'm working on the list of guys. I've had a couple opportunities to speak to a couple guys, one or two. I want to have a young blood in there. Somebody 25, college player, 26. A little bit more relatability to the kids. I'll have me, which is the old man, 51. So one of my old high school coaches says he's interested in coming out, and then we're gonna get a young catching coach, and the hitting coach will probably be a younger guy. There's no sure names yet, because I want to make sure that they're as committed as I am, to being there, to working, to putting in the extra hours. So it's right now the interview process is starting.
All right, Coach. Anything else that our fans and viewers should know about the future of Miami Killian baseball?
Future Miami Killian baseball is guaranteed hard work, guaranteed accountability, guaranteed we're gonna get better one way or the other. And the other thing I would like to say is, for a long time, Killian had a bad reputation of being a rough school and all that. The principal that's in there now has turned that place around. It's been an A school 2 years running. They just turned it into a magnet school, which is going to be phenomenal, because they're going to have sports management. They're going to have rehab and therapy for college track, and they're going to have medical. And it's turning into a big magnet school, kind of the Robert Morgan, but in the sports world and also the medical world. So the school's going to improve rapidly, and it's going to be a force to reckon with academically coming up here real soon.
All right, Coach. I look forward to doing a couple games covering it on our channel here, FSPN. And I appreciate the opportunity and would love to go out there and see you in the fall and then interview your guys in January and cover a couple games next spring if you allow us to do that.
Absolutely. We'd love to have you.
All right. Well, it's time to have some fun, Coach. Enough about business. Let's get to the changeup. And this is where we ask you 3 questions that have absolutely nothing to do about baseball so our fans and viewers can get to know Coach Carlos Castillo a little bit better. Are you ready, Coach?
Yes, sir.
All right. First question. Is Coach Castillo a dog person or a cat person?
Dog.
Do you have a dog?
4.
Oh, man. What kind are there? And what are their names?
Rookie, Whiskey, um, Morty, and Rocky.
Nice. Okay, second question, Coach. When you're not doing the summer ball or the academy, and you might take a little break, what's Coach Castillo's favorite vacation destination?
It's been a long time since I've been on vacation. I'll tell you that much. My favorite destination, vacation, would probably be Japan.
Nice. Okay. All right. Final question, and everybody gets stumped on this one. They have to think about it. What is Coach Castillo's favorite South Florida restaurant, and what do you eat when you go there?
My favorite South Florida restaurant is Gyukaku. It's a Japanese, it's a Korean barbecue place, Japanese style. And I'm a red meat guy, so steak is the game.
So you're going with some of that Wagyu stuff, right?
Yeah, A5.
All right, Carlos, I wish you the best. Alvin, any parting thoughts?
I think it was great. Nice meeting you. I think all your future goals for the
Thank,
school are great, and I think you're gonna kill it over there.
thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right, Coach, before we let you go, any shout outs? Who we're going to recognize today? Who deserves a shout out?
Well, the shout out to me is all the guys that made this possible. All the guys that helped me out, made some phone calls, and pushed me to get through this job. Joey Martinez, Robert Rapato, Dan Sheehy. I had a couple guys that made some phone calls and some character references, and I appreciate them very much. And to my daughter, Cece, and her husband, JJ, they helped me fix the field, and they've been grinding with me to get that field in shape. And 2 of the dads that are part of my youth program, Rudy Gonzalez and Greg Tomchek, they've been supportive. They're like, what do we need? Do we need turfs? Do we need screens? Do we need nets? What do we need? Let's get this program cracking. So I want to say thank you to all them.
All right, Coach, and I want to thank you on behalf of my co host here, Alvin. We want to thank you for being with us today, and we wish you the very best. And I'm looking forward to going out there and supporting Miami Killian Baseball this upcoming season. Thank you very much once again.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
All right, this is
All right.
Uncle Muggs with Alvin Pascale. Stay with us right here on FSPN, and thank you for watching, everyone.